Hello everybody. Seems to be masses of information and people with groups and channels sticking out masses and masses of stuff about Shannan Watts and Chris Watts. It's really incredible how the way everybody's talking. A woman has died who was pregnant and 2 children have died. That's 4 people. I just want to say that a load of people are saying how bossy Shannan Watts was. I suppose she was a little bit. But when you've got children, that's what women look like, unfortunately, because one of you's got to be organised to look after the children. And in a sense, I could have looked a bit like her. Well, can you do this? Can you do that? You can only do so much when you're looking after little children. And if someone's just sitting down doing nothing, then, you know, there are couples today who see that they are, that the jobs are both of theirs, and then they've already worked their routine out, so they don't have to go through this. But anyway, yeah, she looked a little bit bossy. But when Chris Watts did his interview with the press twice or 3 times, or however many times he did the media, he knew his wife and children were dead. He knew. Even if she had killed the children, he knew there wasn't one tiny piece of emotion from him. Not one. And I think what it was is that he was trying to remain cool because he was trying still not to be found out. So he was trying to act all cool. He thought, if I act cool and don't act all crying, it's like they're still alive and people will keep looking for them. But in reality, he knew they were all dead. So I find that very, 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 very strange that he's so unemotional, yeah. And I think what happened as well is people have to remember is that I'm not even sure if he killed the children before she got back or whether it all happened on the night that she got back. But when she got back and he'd killed her, there wasn't much time. If you imagine, it happened between 2 and 7 in the morning. And he also got rid of the bodies. He had no time to sort the house out. He had no time to get rid of her bag or her phone or the car or anything like that. He hadn't thought that far ahead because it had only just happened with her. He'd only just killed her. So he hadn't sorted everything out. So this is why her handbag and everything were there. The friend got involved very quickly, which meant that he didn't have enough time to sort everything else out. And that's why the handbag and everything were there, because he'd only had to go to work. He would have sorted it out when he got home. But of course he was called home earlier, and then of course the interview started happening, or he had to then, you know, go on, you know, the police are there, all the process that he's in now started to happen. But he was trying to, in those interviews, pretend like nothing had happened. Tell me, even if Shannan Watts was a bit of a bully, was a bit controlling, what person could do that? They know their wife and children are dead. Okay, if you take it from his point of view, she killed the children and he killed her. All that emotionalness has happened. All that grief, all that upset, and the man hasn't got one tear in his eyes and he's trying to pretend that she's just gone off, that she'll be back. Come back, the house is empty without you, when he knew the truth. So even if she's all these things, you have to see that he also, well, what do you call it, when you lie so much and you lie so much and have no emotion, you're trying to pretend to be cool. The saddest part is for the unborn baby, the 2 children, the 2 little girls, Bella and Cece. I mean, they definitely didn't deserve it. That's what everybody should be focusing on. But also the unborn baby and Shannan, you know, like, it wouldn't have been easier to have got a divorce than this. He's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, if not they find him guilty on the rest. Well, you know what's going to happen. There was an execution yesterday in America, so that's where he'll go. It's all so sad, all of it. So sad. A man in his early 30s, you know, a nice looking guy like that, who everybody had so much respect for. What the hell happened? Anyway, I think by now, if Shannan hadn't been pregnant, it would have been something that they released. But her friend thought she was pregnant. There was a scan picture, pregnancy test. She had doctor's appointments. Anyway, this is really strange. I mean, even her on the Thrive, she shouldn't be on it with lupus. So, I mean, nothing of this adds up so far. So we just have to wait, hopefully, and wait till the court thing if everybody wants to wait for it. But the saddest thing is the children and the baby, more than anything, and her. She was still a young woman. She's my son's age. Shannan Watts and Chris Watts are my son's age, my eldest son. So I imagine, I'm trying to, it so upsets me to think, well, what a waste of everything, waste of lives, the children. Anyway, I've said enough. I think everybody gets my point. He had no emotion, so you can have a go at her, you can rip her to pieces, but look how he reacted in those news those news interviews. Yeah, he knew what had happened to all of them. Anyway, so something is very, very wrong there. He's obviously got issues himself to have done what he did. Anyway, I think everybody gets my point.